Right then guys, it's PSL here, and I'm here for the second episode in my Classic Cars Sprint Championship on F1 2017, and specifically it's with the 20th century or Class 2 Classic Cars. Now just before we head into the second round of the season around the Circuit de Catalunya, let's have a quick recap of the first round of the season around Silverstone. And to be honest, from my perspective, the race was incredibly boring. I got luck of the draw, quite simply. Just drew first on the grid, started from pole position, won. Simple, to be honest. I had a bit of challenge from a 98 McLaren once he got into second place. We were trading fastest laps, but I'll be honest, he was only beating my fastest laps, and he was in a 1998 McLaren. He was only beating me by about 0.2 of a second, so that's less than it should have been given the difference in our cars. You also had my teammate in one of the other 1992 Williams who got taken out going around Luffield in a battle for third place, so it could have been Williams domination. Well, I guess it still was because we had a 96 Williams finishing third. Overall, it was a very good race for Williams, and not such a good race for Ferrari, because as we saw come the end, there were two Ferraris in 4th and 5th, and one of them dropped at least 3 positions, and we'll never know how. We just have to assume that it happened. So yeah, it's very odd, to be honest. But yeah, that was the last race, and now here we are heading into the Circuit de Catalunya. And on the grid, well, as you can see, I'm not starting on the front. I'll be starting at the back because of the reverse starting grids. And we've got Jonas Schiffer, who's there. But I mean, all these drivers, you know, they're all just random drivers, random driver names. They mean nothing to me. Hence why I don't show the podium ceremony, because it's utterly meaningless. But here is the starting grid. 288 McLarens, 292 Williams, a 91 McLaren. We got some 95 Ferraris at the front. They should be quick. The 95 Ferraris, they're reasonably modern, and they got a V12 engine, and this is to some extent a power circuit, so the 95 Ferraris are the ones to watch out for, certainly. I'm starting at the back. There's Howard Clark. Me and him were trading fastest laps at the previous Grand Prix. But here we are on the starting grid at the Circuit de Catalunya. And, well, we'll have to see what we can do from 20th place, last on the grid. And the lights are coming on for the second round in the Classic Car Sprint Championship. And it's underway, and there's a lot of tyre smoke coming from the 98 McLaren. But I've got off to a good launch myself, and I've had to back off because there was one space down the middle, and Howard Clark in the 98 McLaren took it. So I'm now down into stone dead last. There's a bit of space to the right hand side. I'm going to take that later on the brakes. I think I've got past the 96 Williams. No, I'm going to have to give him the inside line for the second corner. And look at that, a Ferrari backing off. He made a minor mistake. He backed up. That then backed me up. And there you go. I've got past the Ferrari anyway, along with the 96 Williams. There's Howard Clark and the McLaren. Bye-bye, Howard Clark. Later on the brakes, hopefully we won't see him again for the rest of the race. And I've got past the Williams and the Ferrari. Well, okay, I mean, that was unexpected. It was just a good launch off that corner. I mean, this car, let's not forget, it's got active suspension. That's good all-round performance. It's got ABS. It means I can go later into the corners confidently. Go later into the corners. And I've got traction control, which means I can accelerate out of the corners sooner. With confidence anyway. So ABS and traction control just means that I'm on the brakes less and on the power more. So look, much later on the brakes, I've got ABS. I don't have to worry about locking up as much. And I've got past 3 people up into 11th place after just 1 lap. That's extraordinary. We've got some 98 McLaren just ahead though, but we're getting into 98 McLaren territory very soon. Anyway, there's also one of my teammates up ahead. Hopefully he can do well, but I said in the last episode there's not a massive straight line speed difference. That's not entirely true. I did actually drive all the cars again. The 88 McLaren is noticeably slower in a straight line, and the 98 McLaren, this very car, is noticeably quicker than all the others in a straight line. And there you go, 10th to 8th down the start finish straight. So yeah, I mean, basically the 92, 95 and 96 cars are all similar, and the 91 actually, they're all similar in terms of straight line speed performance, but the 88 McLaren, the oldest one, is quite a bit slower, and the newest one, the 98 McLaren, is quite a bit quicker. And here we've got one of the 88 McLarens. Okay launch, but look at that. That's 2 Williams through. I wonder whether we would see any more, but no, that's the second row now at the front. because the two McLarens, I believe one of them... No, they're both 88 McLarens, I believe. And in fact, actually, his day goes from bad to worse. That's not a good start for this 88 McLaren. Second, down to 5th already. Just a poor launch, quite honestly. And again, that is the traction control coming into effect. As well as obviously the fact that this car is just down on power. But we're going to be watching one of the 92 Williams. In fact, I think this is my teammate who got spun around at the previous Grand Prix. If he didn't get spun around, he would not have been starting that far up. So there you go. It's one of these things where if you do badly, really badly, in the previous Grand Prix, you do well here. Spun around left field at the previous race. Here, the second race, he's taken first within a matter of seconds. It's a 92 Williams 1-2. So, there you go. This looks like it's going to just be a repeat of the last race because I dominated the last race. I think it's going to be my teammate who's going to dominate this race. And here we are with a 96 Williams. Good launch. Much better than that Ferrari to the left-hand side. And in fact, down the straight, he's got a bit of momentum. Again, just the launch helping him out there. But he's boxed in. He's got McLaren's ahead. He's got Ferraris to the right-hand side. He's got the inside line, though, so that's going to push the Ferrari out. But will he have to give the Ferrari? No, he won't. I was going to say, would he have to give the Ferrari the inside line? He would if the Ferrari was still in contention for the position, which he isn't. So we've got a 96 Williams in 6th place. The top 6 are just filled with Williams and McLarens. 3 Williams and 3 McLarens. And in fact, the Williams are bookending the points positions. Not anymore, though, because that is a 96 Williams getting past, I think it's a 91 McLaren. There is a slight difference, I can tell, if I can see him from the front. No, that is an 88 McLaren. He's now behind a 91 McLaren. I can tell the front wing on the 91 McLaren is slightly higher than it is on the 88. The 88 McLaren's front wing basically scrapes the floor. As you can see, 88, 91 McLaren, there's a difference there on the front wing. But there's a lot of difference in terms of performance, actually, even though they look very similar. Unfortunately for McLaren, there's also quite a bit of performance difference between the 96 Williams and the 91 McLaren. Although side by side, this 91 McLaren, he's keeping 4th place. He's doing a good job of it. But the Williams is still in there, just about keeping it off the gravel. And now he's got the outside line, but he's been able to hold it quicker around the longer line. But now he's also got another outside line. Is he still going to keep the position? I think he is, and that McLaren was just put all out of shape there. So that was a good battle, actually, and right up until the end, pretty clean as well. So here we go, we've got another 98 McLaren. There's the McLaren up ahead that was battling with the Williams, who just backed up the field. That was good, though. That is all this McLaren needed. If you back up the field, you reduce the gaps, the distance gaps between. And look at that. That McLaren wreaking havoc. You saw that Ferrari desperately trying to turn right, just trying to find some space so he could get past. But no, the McLaren, he was able to use his straight line speed advantage to get past all of those guys, get up into 5th place from 8th to 5th. That Ferrari, let's have another look at this Ferrari, who's in 7th place, V12 engine, but just, look, you can see him swerving to the right, goes to the left come the end, actually. I think the Ferrari will also make up a position or 2. There's the 88 McLaren just dropping back, and the 95 Ferrari, is he going to hold it around? He's got past one McLaren, he's going to get past the second one as well. Well, for a while at least, McLarens were littered all across the points positions. Now there's only one left hanging in, I believe. No, sorry, there is of course the 98 McLaren. There's only one Marlboro McLaren left. Whilst all that was happening, I'm still down in 11th. However, it is only the 2nd lap of the Grand Prix, so go get past my teammate Schiffer. Up ahead, there's also a 95 Ferrari. Yes, there is. But here's the thing is, I'm starting to get up towards the quicker cars, and in fact, actually, whoa, that 95 Ferrari very early on the brakes, my teammate breezed past, and so did I as well, but that shows the ABS, because you can go late on the brakes with confidence. You don't have to worry about locking up a wheel. It's so unlikely to happen, and if it does, it probably won't be major. The 95 Ferrari, he's got no traction control to push him out of the corner easily. He's got no... The 95 Ferrari driver, though, probably does have a bit of common sense, and look at that. I've now got to give back the position to my teammate. That was just really awkward, actually. That was... Tried to overtake, he got caught up on the curb, bounced up, just diagonally in front of me. That's really bad. I mean, we're battling now for 9th place, and it's meaningless. 9th place is, by and large, meaningless. Unless I'm tied on points or someone, and now I'm just making mistakes. This is just not going all that well. We've got to try and get past a 92 Williams, and unlike all the other cars, I can say, oh, well, I've got ABS, I've got traction control. Not with a 92 Williams, he's in the same car, he's got the same gizmos. But he was held up by a McLaren there, and in fact, should be able to get past another McLaren quite easily. Well, we'll see. We're just going to hang back a bit. But in fact, look, traction control, bang, full throttle, out the corner. There you go. 7th place. Still fairly inconsequential, though, because it's not a points place. We're going to have, I think this is a replay of us getting past a Ferrari. There you go. There's a Ferrari going slowly in the middle. I had to go from that camera angle to the left. My teammate went to the right. That Ferrari just... yeah, this is why you don't have cars from different years racing against each other, because you just get instances like that where there's really big differences in performance. But here we go. My teammate will get caught up on the curb. Yeah, that's what he did. He just launched over, like bunny hopped over the curb. Couldn't steer, obviously, because he was in the air. He then landed diagonally with me. That was an illegal overtake on my part. Had to let him back through, and I'll be honest, actually not the best place. But I was able to get past him come the end. So, we've got two 92 Williams. They're still dominating out in front. We've got a 88 McLaren that's still hanging on in there. And then a 96 Williams, 98 McLaren, 95 Ferrari. That's my new target. A 95 Ferrari. Now, we're going to have to, hopefully, do it on the brakes. Because down the straight, unlike the 98 McLaren can pass pretty much anywhere. He's got the power, he's got the straight line speed. He's got the nimbleness, actually, the 98 McLaren, because it's so much narrower. I don't really have that. I do have a lot of gizmos on the side, and in fact, there is the 98 McLaren. You can see off in the distance, he's got past the 88 McLaren that is still hanging on in, I'll be honest. It's incredible. But, there you go. I'll be honest, a bit anticlimactic. Once again, I think that's the second, maybe even third time this race that I passed the 95 Ferrari because he was held up by a McLaren. But anyway, I mean, you've got to take the opportunities you're given, and that is exactly what I did. And now, this Ferrari, he was in 6th, but of course I passed him, so now he's going to try and get past the McLaren. If he wants to get back into 6th place, he's going to have to pass the McLaren. He can't pass me on long gone. There's me, just up ahead, so yeah, he's just, he's going to have to try and do it down the straight. But, as I said, if this is a 88 McLaren he's competing against, then it's easy. If it was a 91 McLaren, it would actually be a good battle, but the 88 McLaren is just so much slower in a straight line. That's the advantage of V12 power right there. That's why Ferrari kept with the V12 for years after Williams did. But 6th place in the 95 Ferrari, and that's the best he can really hope for, because all the other cars ahead are quite a bit ahead, and are in quicker cars. I'm in the 92 Williams. There's 3 92 Williams in the points positions. Half of the points position cars are 92 Williams, and up ahead it's a 96 Williams. Like, Williams have got 2/3 of the points position places. But we're on the final lap of the Grand Prix. I've got a 96 Williams, and this is gonna be tricky, because the Ferrari's heavy, it's lumbering, it's got a V12, it's massive. This car feels like, okay, it isn't massive, but it feels massive. So does this car. This car feels big and heavy and lumbering. The 96 Williams actually doesn't. It actually feels a lot nimbler, much later on the brakes as well from that Williams. That's the thing, 1 year from 95 to 96, it just makes such a big difference. And also, I think the V12 engine, the weight of it, also makes quite a lot of difference. Final lap of the Grand Prix, final sector of the Grand Prix. Alex Murray, my teammate, has won, but I've got to try and get past the Williams. Oh no, not this again. He's going to bunny up over the curb. Yes, he is, but I just backed off, learned from the mistake I made with the 92 Williams earlier on, and there you go. 4th place at the Spanish Grand Prix. That's amazing, considering I started in 20th, and I don't have a straight line speed advantage. Not really. That's an incredible performance. But look, so we saw what happened with the 92 Williams, but with the 96 Williams, look, I dove down the inside. He then broke late to try and defend it, broke too late, bunny hopped over the curb. I backed off because I didn't want to get caught up, like I did with the 92 Williams, so I thought, back off. Then he can just, go off into the gravel trap for all I care. I'm going to hang back, stay out of his way. Trash control, you know, well, I mean, traction control means I just don't have to worry about power. I can, you know, full throttle, and I don't really have to worry about it. That's the beauty of it. But look, there you go, hopped over the curb, just lost steering briefly, and it was also at such a sharp angle that, you know, it wasn't, let's be honest, it wasn't the ideal racing line. But he still took 5th place. And overall, that is a decent performance for a midfield car, the 96 Williams, to take 5th place. Pretty good going, and who knows where he started. He might have started quite far back. We'll see that later on. But my teammate, Alex Murray, he got spun around Luffield in the battle for 3rd place around Silverstone. Well, he needn't have worried, because if he didn't get spun round, he would not have won the Spanish Grand Prix. And there you go. His teammate, my teammate, one of the other 92 Williams, will take 2nd place. And there is a 98 McLaren coming home in 3rd. Give it a few more laps, he would have won the Grand Prix easily, but that's why it's only a 5-lap championship. You know, it's just like my 2002 reverse grid series, actually. You know, you have it a short race distance, partly because I can't change it, and partly because if it was a longer race, the quicker cars would just win anyway. There would be no point in actually reversing the grids. The 95 Ferrari come the end did actually take 6th, and that's all that really matters. Howard Clark took 13th, which is pretty good going from 19th place, and yeah, that's it really. I don't think there's any particular shocks lower on down the field, but here we go, the championship, and look at that, 2 92 Williams at the top. And with this point system, you know, 10 points for a win and only 6 for second, so pretty much half as many points just for coming second. You get a good lead just by winning just by winning a race. You get a good lead in the championship. And there you go. So that is pretty much everything. It's 2 92 Williams at the top. I'm winning, though, the championship just by virtue of getting an extra points place. And you've got the race director screen with where everyone started and finished. So you can look at that, because I'm not going to particularly go through it. Well, the 98 McLaren who finished in 3rd, starting in 11th. That's not bad for him, actually, to be honest. That's a lot of possessions made up in not that many laps. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, comment down below, and I'll see you guys for the 3rd race in this Classic Car Sprint Championship, which is around a completely different sort of circuit, because Silverstone's a power circuit. A Circuit de Catalunya, more balanced, but it's got a massive start-finish straight, so if you have got even the slightest power advantage, it does make overtaking quite easy. But the next track you will not be able to do that so easily. It is the Hungaroring. There you're going to need, I was going to say downforce, that's good. Do you know what else is helpful around there? Active suspension. That will be very helpful indeed. But, well, we'll just see how it goes. And yes, the 3rd race of the season, the Hungaroring, could produce some very different results. The 88 McLarens, which are nowhere pace-wise, might even score some points. What about the 91 McLarens? It's anybody's guess who's going to do well there, because it is a completely different sort of circuit from the ones we've been to already. So, yes guys, I'll see you then.